Now at 10, the Maple Leaf Festival ended today with their annual Maple Leaf Parade. Plus, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention held an Out of the Darkness walk. And the Southeast Kansas Humane Society hosted their annual Bark in the Park event.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. This is your KOAM News at 10. I'm Jalen Banks. Unfortunately, we start the night off with heavy hearts. Chief Bill Fawless of the Modoc Nation has passed. Chief Fawless was the longest serving chief of the Modoc Nation. Born in Joplin, Chief Fawless was a lifelong resident of Miami, Oklahoma. He attended NEO and Oklahoma State University. He also served in the Air Force. His family said in a statement that he passed peacefully at Mercy Hospital in Joplin. The Maple Leaf Festival is one of Carthage's longest traditions. After a week of events and activities, the Maple Leaf Parade closed out the annual celebration. Marching bands, trucks, and local businesses paraded around Carthage's town square. After the parade, a tractor show was held in Central Park. The Maple Leaf Tractor Show is a tradition that's been passed on for generations.
Almost since the inception. I don't know how many years that was, 20 or 30 years ago. Yeah, we have been here almost since it started. My grandson, Ethan Brummett, he's in training right now. He's 10 years old and he's learning all this stuff, how to operate all of it, how to work on it, how to start them and things.
The festivities ended today around 5 p.m. Iola, Kansas held their annual Farm City Day celebration. At the festival, there was a carnival, a petting zoo, car show, food vendors, and of course, to cap it all off, they had a parade.
It's good to have something to do, and like I say, I get to see people I used to work with and some family and things that come out. It's just a good day to have a good parade. Everybody likes a parade.
With fall in full swing and winter approaching, there will be countless events such as this one going on in the 4 states. And to find those events, you can find them on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Missouri's chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention held a suicide walk in Joplin today. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Suicide prevention and support looks like this in Joplin. Together sharing stories and passing on hope. Everyone gathered in Landreth Park to walk in the name of a loved one who battled suicide and depression.
I'm here to support suicide and depression awareness, and I'm walking for my stepdad that passed away in 2017.
After the loss of her stepfather, Hadley knows it is best to support someone rather than judge when someone is battling against suicidal thoughts.
I definitely think you can't be quick to judge, that's for sure, because there's people that even though they look happy or they're in a sport, they're definitely going through something, and you never know what someone's going through.
Events like Joplin Suicide Walks opens up the conversation about suicide prevention to the community.
You don't have to be a professional. You know, you don't have to be a clinician, a therapist. You just have to instill hope.
To anyone struggling with suicidal thoughts or depression, the community is here for you.
That there are people out there that care about you even if you think there aren't. There are random people out there that are looking up to you and that you do matter and that it'll get easier.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The Joplin Suicide Walk will return next October for the 6th annual Prevention Walk. We've had some favorable temps lately, and hopefully that continues. Sam, what do you have for us?
Well, I would hope that's going to continue, but we are going to be in for some big changes, and we'll get to that in the forecast. But right now, I wanted to show radar because there's actually something on it. We have some scattered storms across southeastern Kansas, now down into northwestern Arkansas, southwestern Missouri. Severe thunderstorm watches in effect for parts of Arkansas and Oklahoma. Even some warnings now for Sequoyah County, all extending on over into southern Washington and northern Crawford counties. But here locally, we're not seeing any severe storms. We're just watching some thunderstorms developing in Elk County, around Howard, extending over to Granola, Oak Valley, and then on over towards Fredonia and Neodesha and Newark. Those are kind of moving off towards the east, and we have other showers from Fort Scott to Nevada to Stockton to Bolivar, and those are going to be moving to the south and east as well. And I'll be back in a minute to tell you what we can expect in our forecast, so you want to stay tuned.
Authorities have not disclosed the motive for the shooting Rampage police say a 15-year-old male went on Thursday that left 5 people dead, including the alleged shooter's brother. Tonight, a quiet southern community is mourning and looking for answers. CBS News correspondent Elise Preston has the latest.
911 calls released late Friday capture the horror when, according to police, a 15-year-old opened fire in a residential neighborhood in Raleigh, North Carolina.
What kind of clothing is he wearing? He's wearing all camo. He looks like he's like 16.
Authorities say 5 people were killed, including the suspect's 16-year-old brother and an off-duty police officer who was on his way to work.
I heard some gunshots. So somebody walking that way with a big rifle-looking gun.
When he returned from running errands, Tracy Howard found his wife Nicole Connors fatally shot on their front porch.
I froze. I didn't know what to do. Could have tried to perform CPR or something, but I just froze. So I called 911.
A woman walking her dog and another out exercising were also killed in the Thursday evening attack. The Wake County District Attorney announced plans to pursue charging the teen suspect as an adult, but did not specify the charges he would face.
This would have been different if this young man, for whatever reason, did not have access to these weapons.
Vice President Kamala Harris tweeted about the tragedy, urging Congress to pass an assault weapons ban. Tonight, the community is remembering the victims of the gun violence that shocked a quiet neighborhood this week. Elise Preston, CBS News.
After his arrest, the teenage suspect was hospitalized in critical condition from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. The Southeast Kansas Humane Society held their Bark in the Park event. The event gave dog owners a chance to spend time with their four-legged friends along with other dog owners. There was a dog show, a dog walk, paw painting, and other activities. Also, there were 3 dogs at the Bark in the Park event that were available to be adopted.
I don't know. I just think that it's really nice that they bring a lot of people together, like even if you don't have kids and you have dogs, or, it's just an event that literally everybody can enjoy. They have vendors for everybody here, food here. It's just a really fun family event.
If you're interested in adopting a pet, contact your local Humane Society. Former President Trump still hasn't said whether he will answer questions from the January 6th committee. The committee voted Thursday to subpoena Trump, calling him on to testify and provide documents. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has more.
The resolution is agreed to.
The vote was the finale of the January 6th committee's televised hearing Thursday. The committee members unanimously agreed to subpoena former President Donald Trump.
We are obligated to seek answers directly from the man who set this all in motion.
On Friday, Trump responded with a blistering 14-page letter. He railed about his anger and disappointment with what he said many consider to be a charade and witch hunt. He repeated false claims of election fraud, but he did not answer the key question: whether he will fight the subpoena or agree to testify about his actions on January 6th.
They're breaking windows and going in.
The committee shared new video taken on January 6th showing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer pleading for help to secure the Capitol and saying the president had instigated the rioters.
Yeah, why don't you get the president to tell them to leave the Capitol, Mr. Attorney General, in your law enforcement responsibility?
Pelosi and Schumer were also seen speaking to then Vice President Mike Pence, working together to return to the Capitol to certify the presidential election results.
The House and the Senate will be able to reconvene in roughly an hour.
Pence's aides have cooperated with the committee, but he hasn't been subpoenaed or asked to testify. The committee has until January 2023 to complete their work because they are only authorized through the current Congress. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Former President Trump could try to delay until January to avoid testifying. But on Friday, he did post an article on his Truth Social account that quoted anonymous sources who say he loves the idea of testifying. And we take time now to honor tonight's four-state hero. Specialist Dan Winiger, a Wichita, Kansas native, served in the Army from 2000 to 2006. He was a part of the 891st Engineer Battalion. To Specialist Dan Winiger, we thank you, our four-state hero. Coming up, how hot flashes can cause heart attacks. Cambridge researchers found signs of dementia based on when data was first collected, often 5 to 9 years before a diagnosis. The scientists say impairments indicating dementia are often subtle and include memory, reaction times, grip strength, weight loss, and a number of falls. Individuals likely to develop Alzheimer's were more likely to have fallen 12 months before a diagnosis. The finding may allow for earlier screenings to reduce risk. We move on to our top health stories of the week.
There's growing evidence that hot flashes aren't just uncomfortable, but stress the heart and could lead to a heart attack or stroke. New research presented at the annual meeting of the North American Menopause Society shows women with more frequent hot flashes are more likely to be at increased risk of cardiovascular disease, which is the leading cause of death in women. The CDC has expanded the use of bivalent COVID-19 booster shots for younger children. That after the FDA authorized use for Moderna boosters for children as young as 6, and for the Pfizer boosters, kids as young as 5. The boosters combine a component from the original vaccine with components that target the Omicron subvariants. And teenagers exposed to vaping prevention videos are less likely to vape or smoke cigarettes. A study of 1,500 teens found those who watched the FDA's Real Cost national ad campaign about the health dangers associated with nicotine addiction said they were less open to using the products than those who saw control videos. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
People from Wisconsin celebrate this food every day. Later, we'll find out why the rest of the country is as well.
We actually have some storms on radar. I'll be back to show you that, as well as the cold forecast coming up, so stay tuned. Boy, it was a beautiful morning this morning across the area with light winds, cool temperatures, and pleasant afternoon temperatures as well. Right now in Seneca, Missouri, it looks pretty good down there too at the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. There are some storms on radar. And that's good news because we desperately need the rainfall. Temperatures this afternoon were pretty warm, generally in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees, including Joplin, 79 in Columbus, 83 in Miami, 84 in Afton, 81 over at Nowata, as well as the Ville. A little bit cooler up to the north for our friends in Nevada, where they topped out at 74. In Joplin, we made it up to 80 degrees, starting out at 49. Normal is 71 and 48. The records are 88 and freezing back in 1986. And we're going to see temperatures like this over the next few days, and we'll get to that in our forecast. Only had about a little under 0.3 of an inch of rain so far this month. We've been watching on tower cam the lightning strikes in the distance with those storms, and that's on its way into our area. That's good news. All right, 12 days this month so far of above normal highs, only 2 below and 1 normal. So we're starting October off on a warm note, just like September. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for eastern parts of Oklahoma, Sequoia County, extending into western Arkansas. A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for that area until 11 o'clock. We're going to take a little bit closer in view to our area and show you some scattered showers near Fort Scott, extending over to Nevada, and then on over towards Stockton. And then also you can see more storms back to the south and west near Erie, south of Chanute, extending back towards the west into the Fredonia area. So we're expecting around 1/10 of an inch of rain in some of these scattered showers and storms. Might be a little bit more than some of this model is forecasting. Heavier amounts are going to be down to the south. And we certainly need the rainfall, of course, because we have been in a drought that is ongoing and is only getting worse. We're in an exceptional drought now for southwest Missouri, southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. So hopefully tonight's rain will put a little bit of a dent in that drought. All right, let's take a look at the temperatures right now. We're generally in the 60s with some 50s thrown in up to the north, especially Stockton with 54 right now. Meanwhile, it's still in the 70s down the south. In Jay. Dew points, they're up too, and that's helping with those scattered showers and storms. Generally dew points in the 30s, a little bit more down in Delaware County with dew points in the 50s. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 63. It feels like 63. The dew point's 39. Humidity still low at 41%, and the pressure is currently rising. Here's your forecast for tonight. Those scattered showers and storms will start to move away down into southeastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas by tomorrow morning. We'll be left with cloudy skies with lows in the 50s, 40s up to the north though. Then as we start the day tomorrow, remaining mostly cloudy, maybe some breaks up towards the north in the evening with highs in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees on northerly winds. Then as we go into Sunday night into Monday morning, we're going to see lows dropping down into the 30s in many parts of our area with northerly winds and drier conditions. Then as we go Monday afternoon, Temperatures are only making it into the 50s across our area, so it's definitely going to feel like fall out there with northwesterly winds. But check this out. As we go into Tuesday morning, lows are going to be in the 20s across our area. Hard freeze expected across our area. So it looks like the growing season is going to be ending by Tuesday morning. Let's take a look at the next 7 days. 59 on Monday, 50, only 50 for the high on Tuesday, with lows in the 20s, and those are close to record lows, by the way. But then as we go towards the end of the week into next weekend, we get close to record highs. So we're going to be on a little bit of a roller coaster, and that, of course, continues into early next week with another round of storms possible on Monday and Tuesday. So get ready for the roller coaster. Hope you like it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Cold temps and rain, just what we've needed here in the four states after the hot start of the fall.
We're getting a little bit of everything this week.
Absolutely. All right, thank you, Sam. All right, Danny joins us now, and as we both know, both of our universities in the four states are on the road today.
Yeah, Pitt State dropped 49 points against Lincoln this afternoon. We'll have more details on that. Plus, we caught up with last year's MIAA regular season champs as they prepare for the new season. That and more next. We're over halfway through the college football season, and the Pitt State Gorillas are 6-0 and ranked 7th in the country. Pitt State hits the road for an afternoon contest against Lincoln today. The Gorillas roll by the Blue Tigers 49-10. Colby Katsis has 2 catches for 93 yards, and Caleb Lewis scores 2 rushing touchdowns. PSU is back home next Saturday, hosting Missouri Western for homecoming. Missouri Southern is 4-2 through 6 weeks, facing Central Missouri today. Second quarter, Missouri Southern down 10. Dwayne Lawson takes the snap, breaks the plane for a 1-yard score. That cuts the Mules' lead to 3. Right before the break, UCM looks to extend that lead. Cedric Case throws it to the end zone. He is picked off by Jalen Dennis. 10-7 Central Missouri at half. Fourth quarter now, Dawson Hurl rolls to his right, connects with Jaden Stoshak for 6. Lions within 3, but that would be as close as they get. Southern falls to Central Missouri 20-17. In the Big 12, the Oklahoma Sooners host the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas coming off its first loss of the year, while the Sooners are on a 3-game skid. So both teams looking to get back on track today, tied at 14 in the second. Dylan Gabriel, in his first game back from a concussion, throws deep. Nice catch by Gavin Freeman. Next play, Javante Barnes runs it in from 6 yards out. Sooners take the lead. Later, CJ Colden gets a hand on the pass, comes away with the interception. One more time. This is a great play. Gets his hand up there. Somehow, he gets the pick as well. Oklahoma turns that into points. Gabriel finds Theo Weiss wide open. 24-yard touchdown. It's 28-14. Third quarter now. Sooners pulling away. Gabriel to Braden Willis. He gets in for 6. Oklahoma takes down 19th ranked Kansas 52-42. Basketball is right around the corner, and the defending MIAA regular season champs hit the floor this afternoon for practice. The Lions are picked first in the MIAA preseason poll for the first time in program history. They return 4 starters from last year's team, and with some new additions and the development of those returning starters, head coach Ronnie Russell says this year's group is even more talented than last year's.
Lane Skiles, who's a great shooter, has really worked on putting the ball on the floor, getting around the rim and finishing around the rim. She's playing with a lot more confidence in that aspect. Haley Grant has gotten a lot better at putting the ball, being strong with the basketball, finishing around the rim. Lacey has worked her tail off all summer, working for shooting a 3, has continued to get better with that. Maddie in the post, getting stronger. Maya, just a great offensive player, scores the ball in a variety of ways, has continued to work on that. So it's fun to watch these kids, how they developed and they've grown.
The Southern men have a new head coach this year. Sam Mcmahon returns to Missouri Southern, where he previously served on the coaching staff for 6 seasons. He takes over for a Lions program that went 14-15 last year, and the Lions lose their 2 leading scorers from that team, Stan Scott and R.J. Smith. That leaves room for some different guys to step up and lead, and Mcmahon says there's a handful ready for the challenge.
I think Avery Taggart's ready to take that next step. Also our new guys, Parker Long, Sam Thompson, they're going to be tremendous for us. And then Christian Bundy, he's been here forever. He's been to NCAA tournaments, so he's well seasoned and he's ready for that next step in his career.
Practice has been super competitive. We got some dudes that are flying around. Really excited for this team. I think we're really fast. We can play in transition a lot. We got a lot of big dudes. Nongo now, he's looking to have a breakout season, so should be a good year for us.
It's hard to imagine that after the season Lacey Stokes had last year, that there was something else that she could work on to get better. I'm really excited to see her this year.
Yeah, well, that's why I liked how Coach broke it down, because they made such an impression last year, and the thought that they have more talent and they're just going to take that further is really exciting. So. And
then the men's team, even though they lost the 2 leading scorers, they still have so much cohesion and continuity with several players returning from last year's team. So hopefully they can get things back on track like they were before the pandemic when they were ranked like top 10 in the country. So
right.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that. We'll be back with more after the break. Today's National Day is as cheesy as it gets. That's right, it's the National Day of the Cheese Curd. The salty, deep-fried snack started, of course, in Wisconsin, the dairy state. The nuggets of white or yellow cheddar are battered and deep-fried. They're a popular fare food, but are making their way into some restaurants as a French fry alternative. They're also a big part of poutine, which also includes fries and brown gravy. However you embrace a salty, chewy snack, on this Thursday, is the curd of the word. I love cheese curds, so I'm definitely going to be partaking in that.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Let's take a look at radar. I don't know what happened to radar, but trust me, there are some storms out there. Well, there they are. You can see them moving to the south and east, spreading across our area. So it looks like a pretty good chance of rain in some areas of our area tonight. And then as we head into the forecast, we're going to see colder temperatures, 20s on Monday and Tuesday into Wednesday. And then, of course, we go right back into the warmth next weekend.
All right, sounds good. Danny, what do you have for us?
Of course, Pitt State keeps rolling 7-0 now. They dropped 49 points against Lincoln. That's tied for their most this season.
All right, well, that's our time for now. Thank you for joining us.
Salon service is provided.